Drop a comment and tell us where you're vibing from. Rate this story 0 to 10 when we're done. The rain hit the glass like bullets, each drop catching the neon glow from the bodega across the street. Maya Chen stood in the 24-hour laundromat at 3 a.m., her black oversized hoodie still damp from the downpour, ripped jeans clinging to her legs. She wore beaten-up Converse that had seen better days, the kind of shoes that told stories she'd rather forget. Her dark hair was pulled into a messy bun, strands escaping and sticking to her neck. The machines hummed their mechanical lullaby while she folded other people's clothes for $8 an hour. This wasn't the plan. Nothing ever was. The door chimed. She didn't look up. "You still open?" His voice cut through the white noise. Smooth. Tired. Real. Maya glanced over. The guy standing in the doorway looked like he'd just walked out of a Forbes photo shoot that went horribly wrong. Designer black turtleneck soaked through, showing the outline of his frame. Expensive watch catching the fluorescent light. Dark slacks that probably cost more than her rent. His hair was wet, falling across his forehead in a way that looked intentional but probably wasn't. He had this exhausted thing going on that made him look almost human. "Washers stop at 4, she said, going back to her folding. He walked in anyway, carrying a leather weekend bag that screamed money. "I just need something dried. Hotel dryer broke and I have a pitch in 6 hours. Tragic." "I'm serious." "So am I." She finally looked at him properly. Mid-20s, maybe. The kind of attractive that knew it but was too tired to care right now. $10. Cash only. He pulled out his wallet, handed her a 20. "Keep it." She took it, studying his face. "You always throw money at your problems?" "Only when it works." A half-smile played at his lips. "I'm Kai. I didn't ask." "I know. That's why I'm telling you." Something about the way he said it made her chest tighten. She grabbed his bag, tossed it in the industrial dryer, set the timer. 40 minutes. "You can wait or come back." "I'll wait." He sat on the bench across from her, close enough that she could smell his cologne mixing with rain and something else. Something that felt dangerous. The silence stretched. She kept folding. He kept watching. "You do this every night?" he asked. "You interrogate every stranger you meet?" "Only the interesting ones." She laughed, sharp and bitter. "I'm not interesting. I'm just broke." "Those aren't mutually exclusive." Maya stopped folding. Really looked at him. His eyes were dark, carrying weight she recognized. The kind you don't talk about at parties. "What are you running from?" she asked. His smile faded. "What makes you think I'm running?" "Because nobody shows up to a laundromat at 3 a.m. in a $1,000 outfit unless they're running from something." The dryer hummed between them. Rain hammered the windows. "My father died 3 weeks ago," Kai said quietly. "Left me his company. $16 billion and a legacy I never asked for. I have to pitch to the board tomorrow to keep it all from falling apart, and I can't stop thinking that I'd rather be anywhere but here." The honesty hit her like a punch. She sat down, still holding someone stranger's t-shirt. "My mom's in rehab," she heard herself say. Third time. "I'm paying for it with money I don't have, working 3 jobs, and lying to her that everything's okay. So yeah, I get running." His eyes met hers. Really met them. "What's your name?" he asked. "Maya." "Maya," he repeated, like he was testing how it felt. "I'm sorry about your mom. I'm sorry about your dad." Something shifted in the air between them. The machines kept spinning. The rain kept falling. And for the first time in months, Maya felt like she could breathe. The dryer beeped. She stood, pulled out his clothes, handed him the bag. Their fingers touched. Neither of them moved. "Can I see you again?" Kai asked. "Why would you want to?" "Because you're the first person in 3 weeks who hasn't looked at me like I'm made of money." She should say no. She knew that. This guy was trouble wrapped in expensive fabric and pretty words. But something in his eyes made her reckless. "I'm here every night. 11 to 7. Tomorrow night then?" "Maybe." He smiled, real this time, and walked to the door. Stopped. Turned back. "Maya?" "Yeah. Thank you. For being real." He left. The bell chimed. The rain swallowed him whole. Maya stood there, heart pounding, wondering what she'd just done. She pulled out her phone. Googled his name. Kai Zhang. 24, billionaire heir. CEO of Zhang Industries. "Oh, you've got to be kidding me," she whispered. Her phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You didn't ask how I got your number. You're slipping." She looked out the window. He was standing across the street under a broken streetlight, phone to his ear, watching her through the rain-streaked glass. Against every instinct screaming at her to stop, she smiled. This was going to destroy her. She could already feel it. He came back the next night. And the night after that. By the fourth night, Maya stopped pretending she wasn't waiting for him. Kai would show up around midnight, always looking like he'd just escaped from something important. Sometimes in a suit jacket thrown over a plain white tee, sleeves rolled up showing a forearm tattoo she hadn't expected. Sometimes in all black, hair still wet from a shower, smelling like cedar and bad decisions. He'd bring 2 coffees from the bougie place 3 blocks over, the kind with oat milk and names she couldn't pronounce, and they'd sit on the bench while machines spun other people's lives clean. They talked about everything. His pressure to become someone he wasn't. Her dreams of opening a design studio that felt further away each day. The way grief sat in your chest like concrete. How money solved everything except the things that mattered. "My board thinks I'm incompetent," Kai said one night, spinning his coffee cup between his palms. He wore a black bomber jacket over a vintage band tee, dark jeans that fit perfectly, white sneakers that probably cost rent. "They're not wrong. Stop that." Maya sat cross-legged on the bench in her usual black hoodie, this time paired with cargo pants covered in paint stains and her worn Converse. Her hair was down tonight, falling past her shoulders. "You took a failing quarter and turned it profitable in 3 weeks. I Googled you." "You Googled me?" His eyebrow raised, that half-smile appearing. "Don't let it go to your head. I Google everyone who buys overpriced coffee. So I'm everyone now?" The air between them crackled. She looked away first. "My mom called today," she said quietly. "From rehab. Said she's doing better. That this time's different." "You don't believe her." "I want to." "That's worse." Kai moved closer. Not touching, but close enough that she could feel his warmth. "Hope isn't weakness, Maya. In my experience, it kind of is." His phone buzzed. He ignored it. It buzzed again. And again. "You should get that," she said. "It's just my brother." "You have a brother?" Something dark crossed his face. "Unfortunately." Before she could ask, the laundromat door slammed open. A guy walked in, mid-20s, wearing a tailored gray suit that screamed Wall Street, hair slicked back, carrying himself like he owned the world. He looked like Kai but sharper. Meaner. "There you are," the guy said, voice dripping with fake concern. "Dad's lawyer has been calling. We need to talk about the will." Kai stood slowly. "I'm busy, Aaron." "Busy? In a laundromat?" Aaron's eyes slid to Maya, lingering in a way that made her skin crawl. "I see. Leave, Kai said, voice low and dangerous. Mom wants to see you. Tomorrow. Family dinner. Tell her I'm working. Tell her yourself. Aaron pulled out his phone, scrolled through something, then looked at Maya with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Maya Chen. 3 jobs. Mom in rehab. Student loans defaulting. Interesting company you're keeping, little brother. Maya's blood went cold. How do you know my name? I make it my business to know who's getting close to my family. Aaron stepped closer to Kai. Dad left you the company, but the will isn't final. Board votes in 2 weeks. You really want to risk everything for some random girl folding laundry? Get out, Kai said, fists clenched. Aaron held up his hands, backing toward the door. I'm just looking out for you. Family first, right? His eyes found Maya again. Nice meeting you, Maya. I'm sure we'll see each other soon. He left. The bell chimed like a death rattle. Silence. I should go, Maya said, standing. Maya, wait. You had me investigated? Her voice shook. No. God, no. That was all Aaron. He does this, tries to control everything. He knew about my loans. My mom. That's not public information, Kai. I know. I'm sorry. He has people, resources. He's trying to mess with my head before the vote. The vote for what? Kai ran his hands through his hair, frustrated. My dad's will splits control of the company between me and Aaron unless the board approves sole leadership. Aaron wants it all. He'll do anything to make me look unstable. So what am I? A liability? No. You're the only real thing in my life right now. Stop. She grabbed her jacket, an oversized denim thing covered in pins and patches. This was stupid. You're a billionaire with family drama I can't even comprehend, and I'm just trying to survive. This doesn't work. Maya, please. I can't be your escape, Kai. I have enough to deal with. She walked toward the door. He grabbed her hand. Then let me help you. Your mom's bills, your loans. I can fix it. She pulled away like he'd burned her. I don't want your money. Why not? It's just money. Because the second I take it, I become something I'm not. Someone who needs saving. I'm done being that person. I'm not trying to save you. I'm trying to be honest about what I can offer. Honest? She laughed, sharp and broken. You've been slumming it in a laundromat for a week, playing normal, and you think that's honest? That's not fair. Life's not fair. You should know that better than anyone. She pushed through the door into the rain. He followed. Maya, stop. She spun around on the wet sidewalk, rain soaking through her clothes. What do you want from me, Kai? I don't know, he shouted, rain streaming down his face. I just know that when I'm with you, I don't feel like I'm drowning. And maybe that's selfish, but I can't let you walk away. You don't get to decide that. Then tell me you don't feel this. He stepped closer, inches between them. Tell me I'm alone in this and I'll leave you alone. She couldn't. God help her, she couldn't. This is going to end badly, she whispered. I know. Your brother's going to come after me. I know. I can't be what you need. I don't need anything. I just want you. The rain fell harder. The city hummed around them. And Maya made the worst decision of her life. She kissed him. His hands found her waist. Her fingers tangled in his wet hair. They kissed like they were both drowning and this was air. When they finally pulled apart, both breathless, Kai pressed his forehead to hers. Stay with me tonight, he whispered. Kai. Just tonight. No expectations. I just don't want to be alone. She should say no. Should run. Should protect herself. Okay, she heard herself say. They got into his car, a sleek black thing that probably cost more than she'd make in 5 years. The leather seats were cold. Rain drummed on the roof. He drove them to his penthouse downtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Minimalist furniture that looked uncomfortable. Art on the walls that meant nothing. "Welcome to my prison," he said quietly. Maya walked to the window, looking out at the glittering skyline. Kai came up behind her, not touching, just present. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Me too." She turned. He was closer than she thought. Those dark eyes holding universes of hurt. "Your brother's going to use me against you," she said. "Let him try." "Kai, I'm serious. I can't be the reason you lose everything. You're not. You're the reason I want to keep fighting." His phone buzzed on the counter. He ignored it. It buzzed again. A text lit up the screen. She saw it before he could stop her. "Check the news. Your little distraction just became public. Enjoy the fallout." Maya grabbed her phone, opened Twitter. Her stomach dropped. Billionaire heir Kai Zhang slumming with laundromat worker, desperate for attention or true love? The photos were everywhere. Them at the laundromat. Kissing in the rain. Her face, her full name, her mother's rehab location, her debt amount. Everything. "Oh my God," she whispered. Kai grabbed his phone, his face going pale. "Aaron. That son of a... I need to leave." Maya headed for the door. "Maya, wait. We can fix this." "Fix this?" "Kai, my mom's facility just got doxxed. Random people know where she is." Her phone started ringing. Unknown numbers. Dozens of them. Text messages flooding in. Reporters. Bloggers. People calling her awful things. "I'm so sorry," Kai said, voice breaking. "I'll fix this. I promise." Maya looked at him, tears streaming down her face. "You can't fix this. This is what your world does. It destroys people like me. Please. Don't go." But she was already out the door, running down the emergency stairs, leaving him standing alone in his glass prison. Her phone buzzed. A new message from Aaron. "Consider this a warning. Stay away from my brother, or I'll ruin what's left of your life." Maya sat on the cold stairwell, pulling her knees to her chest, and let herself break. Maya didn't go to work for 3 days. She stayed in her cramped studio apartment with blackout curtains drawn, watching her life implode in real time. The internet was ruthless. Gold digger. Opportunist. Trash. Every aspect of her existence dissected by strangers who'd never know what it felt like to choose between groceries and electricity. Her phone wouldn't stop. Reporters camped outside her building. Her boss at the laundromat fired her over text. "Can't have this drama." Her mom's facility threatened to revoke visiting privileges due to media disruption. Kai called 47 times. She didn't answer. On day 4, someone knocked. Different from the reporters. Softer. She checked the peephole. Kai stood there in a simple black hoodie and dark jeans, baseball cap pulled low, looking nothing like the billionaire from the photos. He looked wrecked. Against every instinct, she opened the door. "You look terrible," she said. "You look worse." He stepped inside, took in the studio. Unmade futon. Instant ramen cups. Clothes everywhere. He didn't judge, just sat on the floor, back against the wall. "I'm sorry isn't enough, is it? Maya sat across from him, pulling her oversized sweater tighter. She wore old leggings and fuzzy socks, hair in a chaotic bun, no makeup to hide the circles under her eyes. "What do you want, Kai?" "I fired my entire PR team. Hired new people. They're working on retractions, privacy violations, harassment claims. I'm going after every outlet that published your personal information." "Cool. That doesn't unring the bell." "I know." He looked at his hands. "My board meeting is tomorrow. They're voting on the company. Aaron's been feeding them stories about me being unstable, distracted, unfit to lead. So this is a goodbye?" "No." He met her eyes. "This is me asking you to trust me one more time." "Why would I do that?" "Because I have a plan to destroy my brother. But I need your help." Maya laughed, bitter. "You want me to help you with family drama? Are you insane?" "Probably." Kai pulled out his phone, showed her a series of documents. "I've been digging into Aaron's finances. He's been embezzling from the company for 2 years. Small amounts, hidden well, but it's there. Enough to get him removed from the will entirely." "How did you find this?" "I hired a forensic accountant. Cost me $500,000, but it was worth it." He scrolled through more files. "But here's the problem. I can't present this to the board without concrete proof of intent. I need his communications, his private files. And I can't get access without raising suspicion. What does this have to do with me?" Kai hesitated. "Aaron's hosting a party tomorrow night. Pre-board meeting celebration, very exclusive. He'll have his laptop there. If someone could get close, distract him, copy his hard drive." "Absolutely not. Maya, please. This isn't just about the company. Aaron's the one who leaked everything about you. He's the one who sicked the media on your mom. He did this because he knew you were my weakness. And you want me to walk into his party? The guy who threatened to ruin my life? I'll be there the whole time. You won't be alone." "Kai, I fold laundry for a living. I don't know how to be a spy." "You don't have to be. Just be yourself. Be charming. Aaron's arrogant. He won't see you as a threat." Maya stood, paced her tiny apartment. "This is insane." "I know. If we get caught, we both lose everything." "I know. Why are you really doing this? The company? Your inheritance? Or something else?" Kai stood too, close enough to touch. "Because he hurt you. And I can't let that stand." Something in his voice broke her. "You're asking me to risk everything for revenge. I'm asking you to stand with me. One time. Then I'll walk away if that's what you want." The apartment felt too small. Too hot. Maya thought about her mom, the bills, the public humiliation, the life she'd lost in 72 hours. "What's in it for me?" she asked. $2 million. Cash. Untraceable. Enough to clear your debt, pay for your mom's treatment, and start over wherever you want. The number hung in the air like poison. "You're serious?" "Completely. And if I say no?" "I respect it. And I never contact you again." Maya's hands shook. 2 million. Freedom. Everything she'd dreamed of. "When's the party?" Kai's eyes lit up. "Tomorrow. 8 p.m. I'm going to need a dress." He smiled, real and devastating. "Already handled." The next night, Maya stood in front of a mirror in Kai's penthouse, barely recognizing herself. The dress was midnight blue, sleek and expensive, hugging every curve. Her hair was styled in loose waves. Makeup done by a professional. Heels that could kill. Kai appeared behind her in a sharp black suit, no tie, looking every inch the heir. You're stunning. I feel like I'm playing dress up. You're not. You belong in that room more than any of them. He handed her a small device. This is a USB duplicator. Plug it into his laptop, it'll copy everything in under 3 minutes. The light turns green when it's done. Maya slipped it into her clutch, heart pounding. What if someone sees? They won't. Everyone will be drunk and distracted. Just find his study, do the thing, get out. You make it sound easy. It won't be. But I'll be watching the whole time. They arrived at Aaron's penthouse separately. The party was in full swing. Old money and new mixing in a penthouse that made Kai's look modest. Champagne. Caviar. People who'd never known struggle. Maya walked in alone. Heads turned. Whispers started. She recognized some faces from the news coverage. People who'd called her trash now staring like she was fascinating. Aaron appeared instantly, shark-like in a burgundy suit jacket over a black shirt. Well, well. The infamous Maya Chen. Brave of you to show up. Brave or stupid, she said, taking a champagne flute from a passing waiter. Both, probably. He circled her like prey. I have to admit, you clean up nicely. Almost makes me understand my brother's obsession. Is that what it is? Obsession? What else would you call it? Kai's never been stable. Our father knew it. The board knows it. You're just the latest symptom. Maya sipped her champagne, playing the part. Maybe he just has good taste. Aaron laughed, cold and sharp. You have bite. I like that. He leaned closer. Between us, Kai's losing tomorrow. The board's already decided. But I could put in a good word for you. Make sure you land on your feet after he crashes. Why would you do that? Because unlike my brother, I appreciate talent. And you, Maya, are talented at survival. Her stomach turned. What's the catch? No catch. Just loyalty. When Kai falls apart tomorrow, and he will, don't go down with him. Across the room, Kai watched with barely controlled rage. Their eyes met. She gave him a subtle nod. I'll think about it, Maya said to Aaron. Right now, I need the restroom. Down the hall, second door. She walked casually, heart hammering. The hallway was empty. She passed the bathroom, found the study. Unlocked, because arrogance. Aaron's laptop sat open on the desk. Maya pulled out the USB, hands shaking. This was it. The point of no return. She plugged it in. The light blinked red. Footsteps in the hall. She froze. The light still red. 20 seconds. 30. The door opened. Aaron stood there, smiling like the devil. Looking for something? Maya's blood turned to ice. I got lost. Really? Because it looks like you're stealing corporate secrets. He walked in, closed the door. Did you really think I wouldn't know? I've had you followed since day one. I know about the accountant. The files. Everything. The USB light turned green. He didn't notice yet. This was a setup, Maya whispered. Of course it was. I needed proof that my brother was conspiring against the company. Corporate espionage is a felony, Maya. You just handed me everything I needed to destroy him. You're insane. I'm practical. He pulled out his phone. Now, you're going to walk out there and tell everyone what you just did. Or I'm calling the cops and your mother loses her spot in rehab by morning. Maya's hand moved before she thought. She grabbed the USB, but Aaron caught her wrist. Let go, she hissed. Give it to me. The door slammed open. Kai stood there, phone out, recording. Say that again, Aaron. The part about threatening her mother. Aaron's face went white. You're recording? The whole thing. Study has cameras too. I installed them last week when you stupidly gave me your spare key. You son of a... Checkmate, brother. Kai stepped inside. You just admitted to having Maya followed, threatening a vulnerable person in medical care, and attempting to frame me for corporate espionage. The board's going to love this. Aaron's expression shifted from shock to rage. You think this changes anything? I still have the board votes. They hate you, Kai. You're weak. Always have been. Maybe. But I'm not a felon. And after they see this footage plus the evidence of your embezzlement, you won't just lose the vote. You'll lose everything. Maya backed toward Kai, USB clutched in her hand. We need to leave. But Aaron wasn't done. You think you won? She's using you, Kai. The $2 million you promised her? She took it. Already transferred. Check your account. Kai went still. What? I didn't, Maya said quickly. Kai, I swear. Show him your phone, Aaron pressed. Go ahead. Show him the deposit notification from 3 hours ago. Maya pulled out her phone with shaking hands. There it was. $2 million deposited. Timestamp, 5:47 p.m. I didn't do this, she said, voice breaking. Of course you didn't, Aaron smiled. I did. Transferred from Kai's personal account. Made it look like payment for services. The board will think you two planned this whole thing together. Kai looked at Maya, and for the first time, she saw doubt in his eyes. You have to believe me, she whispered. The silence stretched like a blade. Get out, Kai said quietly. What? Both of you. Get out of my sight. Kai, please. I said get out. Maya ran. Down the hall, through the party, out into the night. The dress felt like a costume. The money in her account felt like blood. She made it 2 blocks before she collapsed on a bench, sobbing into her hands. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You played the part perfectly. The money's yours. Consider it payment for breaking my brother's heart. He'll never trust anyone again. Maya screamed into the empty street, rage and grief tearing out of her. She'd become exactly what she feared. A pawn in someone else's game. And she'd lost the only person who'd made her feel real. 2 weeks. That's how long Maya lasted before she broke. She'd tried to return the money. Every bank, every transfer, blocked. Aaron had made sure of it. The account was flagged, locked in legal limbo. She couldn't touch it, couldn't give it back, couldn't prove she hadn't asked for it. The board voted. Kai lost. Aaron became CEO. The news showed Kai leaving the Zhang Industries building for the last time, photographers swarming like vultures. He looked hollow. Empty. Nothing like the boy who'd shown up at a laundromat looking for something real. Maya watched from her apartment in a faded band tee and sweatpants, cheap wine in hand, hating herself more with each replay. Her mom called from rehab. I saw the news, baby. Are you okay? I'm fine, Mom. You're lying. You always bite your lip when you lie. Maya touched her lip, realized she was doing exactly that. I messed up. Really bad. The boy from the articles? Yeah. Did you love him? The question broke something in her. It doesn't matter. It's the only thing that matters, Maya. After they hung up, Maya sat in the dark, thinking. The money sat in that account like a curse. $2 million she couldn't access, earned through a game she'd never wanted to play. But maybe there was something she could do. She grabbed her laptop, started digging. If Aaron could manipulate bank accounts, she could figure out how to undo it. She spent 3 days barely sleeping, learning, hacking, calling in every favor from her community college IT days. Finally, she found it. A loophole. A way to reroute the transfer through an escrow account, then redirect it. Not to herself. To Kai. It would take everything she had. Every skill, every risk. And it still might not work. But she had to try. The coffee shop was neutral ground. Maya had texted Kai from a burner phone. "Meet me. I can explain. Please." She didn't think he'd come. But at 3 p.m., he walked through the door in a worn gray hoodie and jeans, baseball cap low, looking like he'd aged years in weeks. No more designer clothes. No more polish. Just raw exhaustion. He sat across from her. Didn't speak. "I didn't take the money," Maya said immediately. "Aaron set it up. I have proof." "I know." She blinked. "What?" "I had my lawyers dig. Found the transfer route. Aaron's digital fingerprints were all over it." Kai's voice was flat. Defeated. "I know you didn't betray me, Maya. But it doesn't change anything." "Then why did you send me away?" "Because I was hurt. And scared. And I realized that everyone I trusted was just using me for something." He finally looked at her. His eyes were red-rimmed. "Even when I know you're innocent, part of me still wonders if this was all just about the money." "It wasn't." "It isn't." "Then what was it about?" Maya's throat tightened. "You made me feel like I mattered. Like I was more than just survival mode. And that terrified me because I knew it couldn't last." It didn't. The words hung between them like smoke. "I'm rerouting the money," Maya said. "Back to you. I figured out how to unlock the account, reverse the transfer. You'll have it by tomorrow." Kai shook his head. "Keep it." "What?" "No. Kai, I don't want. I don't care what you want. I'm done. With the company, with my family, with all of it." He stood. "Aaron won. The board thinks I'm unstable. My reputation's destroyed. That money means nothing to me anymore. Where will you go?" "Somewhere nobody knows my name. Maybe I'll find a laundromat, fold clothes for $8 an hour. See how the other half lives." The bitterness in his voice cut like glass. "Kai, please. Let me help. You've helped enough." He walked out. The bell chimed. Maya sat there, tears streaming, watching him disappear into the crowd. That night, she made her decision. If the money meant nothing to him, then she'd use it for something that did. She'd burn it all down if it meant giving him back what Aaron had stolen. Maya spent the next week becoming someone she'd never been. She bought a new wardrobe. Business casual. Nothing flashy. She got a new haircut, sleek and professional. She studied Zhang Industries' structure, their investors, their weaknesses. And then she requested a meeting with Aaron. His assistant laughed when she called. "Mr. Zhang doesn't take meetings with. Tell him Maya Chen wants to discuss a mutually beneficial arrangement. I have information about Kai's plans. He'll want to hear it." An hour later, she had an appointment. Zhang Industries' office was steel and glass, cold and corporate. Maya walked in wearing a tailored black blazer, white silk blouse, fitted pants, and heels that gave her 3 extra inches of confidence. Her hair was pulled back in a low ponytail. She looked like she belonged. Aaron's office was on the top floor. He sat behind a massive desk in a crisp navy suit, looking every inch the conqueror. Well, he said. "The laundromat girl cleans up well. Twice now. Save it. Maya sat without being invited. I'm here to make a deal. I'm listening. Kai's planning something. A lawsuit. He's got evidence of your embezzlement, your manipulation, everything. He's going to the SEC next week. Aaron's expression didn't change, but his fingers tightened on his pen. And you're here to warn me because? Because I want in. You're CEO now. You have power, resources. I'm tired of being broke. Tired of being a pawn. So here's the deal. I give you Kai's evidence, help you bury it, and you give me a job. Executive level. Real money. A way out of the life I'm stuck in. Why would I trust you? Because I have nothing left to lose. Kai hates me. The internet hates me. My old life is gone. I might as well profit from the ashes. Aaron studied her. Long, calculating silence. What evidence does he have? Financial records. Recordings. Witness statements. Everything you'd need to convict. It's on a hard drive in a safety deposit box. I know where. How? Because he trusted me with it. Before everything went wrong. More silence. Bring me the hard drive, Aaron said finally. Tomorrow. And we'll discuss your future. Maya stood, extended her hand. Deal. He shook it. His palm was cold. She left the building, got in a cab, and immediately called a number she'd memorized. It's done, she said when Kai answered. He bought it. Kai's voice was sharp. Alert. You're sure? Positive. He thinks I'm selling you out. I meet him tomorrow with the fake drive. Maya, this is insane. If he finds out. He won't. Your tech guy said the drive looks identical. Loads real files for 30 seconds before the virus kicks in. A virus that will upload all his actual crimes to a secure server and email every major financial regulator in the country. Kai's voice carried something she hadn't heard in weeks. Hope. You really think this will work? It has to. It's the only play we have left. Silence on the line. Then, quietly, why are you doing this? Maya looked out the cab window at the city lights. Because you deserved better than what your family did to you. And because maybe I'm tired of running. If this goes wrong, you could go to jail. Then I guess we both better hope it goes right. Maya? Yeah. Thank you. For believing in me when nobody else did. Her throat tightened. Don't thank me yet. This could still blow up in our faces. The next day, Maya walked into Aaron's office with a hard drive in her bag and a prayer in her heart. You look nervous, Aaron said, gesturing to the chair. I'm betraying someone I cared about. Little bit of nerves is expected. She pulled out the drive. Everything's here. Financial records, audio files, the whole thing. Aaron took it, turned it over in his hands. This better be real. Plug it in. See for yourself. He connected the drive to his computer. Files populated the screen. Bank statements. Transfer records. Exactly what he'd expect. Impressive, he murmured, clicking through. Maya's heart pounded. 30 seconds. That's what the tech guy said. 25. 26. Aaron opened an audio file. Kai's voice played, discussing the evidence. 28. 29. The screen flickered. What the hell? Aaron clicked frantically. 30. The virus activated. His computer screen flooded with windows. Upload progress bars. Email notifications. Every piece of evidence they'd compiled on Aaron's crimes uploading to servers worldwide. No. No, Aaron yanked cables, but it was too late. Maya stood, backing toward the door. That's for ruining my life. And Kai's. And everyone else you've stepped on. You bitch, Aaron lunged, but security was already at the door. Not his security. Federal agents. Aaron Zhang, you're under arrest for embezzlement, fraud, and conspiracy. Maya slipped out during the chaos, took the elevator down, walked out into the afternoon sun. Her phone buzzed. Kai, it worked. Every regulator just got the files. He's done. Maya, good. Now what? Kai, now we figure out what comes next. Together? She smiled through tears, typing back. Maya, together. But as she walked toward the coffee shop where they'd agreed to meet, a black SUV pulled up beside her. The window rolled down. A woman in a suit, government badge visible. Maya Chen? We need you to come with us. You're wanted for questioning regarding corporate espionage and fraud. Maya's blood ran cold. What? No. I helped you catch him. We know. But you also participated in illegal access of corporate systems. We need your statement. And a lawyer. You're not under arrest, but you need to come voluntarily or we'll make it official. She looked back toward the coffee shop. Kai stood in the window, seeing everything, horror on his face. Their eyes met across the distance. Maya pulled out her phone, sent one last text. I'm sorry. This is my mess to clean up. Don't wait for me. Live your life. You're finally free. She got in the SUV. And just like that, she sacrificed her freedom for his. 6 months later. The courtroom smelled like old wood and broken dreams. Maya sat at the defendant's table in a borrowed navy suit, her public defender shuffling papers nervously. She'd lost weight. Her hair was longer now, pulled into a simple braid. No makeup. No pretense. Just exhaustion. The prosecution wanted 3 years. Her lawyer thought he could get it down to 18 months with good behavior. Either way, her life was over. The gallery was mostly empty. A few reporters. Some law students. And in the back row, wearing a plain black hoodie and jeans, sat Kai. He'd been there every single day of the trial. Maya hadn't spoken to him in 6 months. Refused his calls, his letters, his visits. She'd made her choice. She wouldn't let him throw away his new life for her mistakes. Because after Aaron's arrest, things had shifted. The board reinstated Kai. Apologized. Offered him full control. But he'd shocked everyone by declining. Instead, he'd sold his shares, walked away with enough to be comfortable, and started a foundation for people drowning in debt. Anonymous donations. No strings attached. He'd become what he'd always wanted to be. Free. And Maya was going to prison. All rise. The judge entered. An older woman with sharp eyes and no patience for theatrics. Ms. Chen, you've been found guilty of unauthorized access to computer systems and conspiracy to commit fraud. Before I pass sentence, do you have anything to say? Maya stood slowly. Her lawyer tugged her sleeve, wanting her to sit, but she ignored him. Your Honor, I'm not going to pretend I didn't do what they say I did. I accessed Aaron Zhang's systems. I planted evidence. I manipulated the situation. Her voice was steady. Clear. But I did it to expose crimes that were ruining lives. Aaron Zhang stole from his own company, threatened vulnerable people, and used his power to destroy anyone who got in his way. That's not your job, Ms. Chen, the judge said. We have systems for that. Systems that failed. Systems that protected him because he had money and connections. I didn't have those things. All I had was the truth and a USB drive. And now you're asking me for leniency? No. Maya's eyes met the judge's. I'm asking you to acknowledge that sometimes the law isn't justice. Sometimes you have to burn the house down to see what's hiding in the walls. The courtroom went silent. The judge leaned back. Poetic. But the law is the law, Ms. Chen. And you broke it. I know. And I'll accept whatever sentence you give. But I won't apologize for standing up to someone who thought he was untouchable. Before the judge could respond, the courtroom doors opened. A man in an expensive suit walked in, followed by 3 more lawyers. Your Honor, if I may. I'm representing Ms. Chen as of this moment. Maya's public defender sputtered. What? Who are you? Marcus Reed, Reed and Associates. I've been retained by an anonymous benefactor to represent Ms. Chen. And I have new evidence that dramatically changes the context of this case. The judge raised an eyebrow. This is highly irregular. Agreed. But it's also crucial. He approached the bench with a tablet. Aaron Zhang has just been convicted of embezzlement, fraud, racketeering, and witness intimidation. His sentencing is scheduled for next month. But more importantly, our investigation has revealed that Ms. Chen was acting under significant duress. He pulled up documents. Text messages. Recordings. Aaron Zhang explicitly threatened Ms. Chen's mother, who was in medical treatment for substance abuse. He doxed Ms. Chen, destroyed her employment, and orchestrated a sophisticated scheme to frame her and Kai Zhang for crimes they didn't commit. Everything Ms. Chen did was in direct response to these threats. The prosecutor stood. Your Honor, this is a stunt. It's documented evidence, Marcus cut in. Including testimony from Aaron Zhang's former assistant, who has flipped and is cooperating with federal prosecutors. Ms. Chen was a victim who fought back using the only tools she had. The judge looked at Maya. Is this true? Maya's throat was tight. She glanced back at Kai. He was gripping the bench, eyes pleading with her to fight. Yes, she whispered. He threatened my mom. Threatened to pull her from rehab if I didn't stay away from Kai. And when that didn't work, he made it look like I was stealing from them. I didn't know what else to do. The judge studied the documents for a long moment. Ms. Chen, why didn't you bring this up before? Because I didn't think anyone would believe me. I'm nobody. He was a billionaire. Who cares what happens to people like me? Something shifted in the judge's expression. She looked at the prosecutor. Do you have a response to this evidence? The prosecutor hesitated. We'd need time to review. I'm granting a recess. We reconvene in 3 hours. Mr. Reed, I want full documentation. And someone get me Aaron Zhang's case files. The gavel banged. Maya's legs nearly gave out. Marcus Reed caught her elbow. We're not done yet, but this is good. Really good. Who hired you? Maya asked. Attorney-client privilege means I can't say. But let's just say you have someone in your corner who cares a lot about making this right. She didn't need to ask. She knew. 3 hours later, they reconvened. The judge looked tired but determined. After reviewing the evidence, I'm inclined to believe Ms. Chen acted under significant coercion and duress. However, her methods were still illegal. The judge paused. Here's my ruling. Time served plus 2 years probation, 500 hours community service, and mandatory counseling. Ms. Chen, you're free to go. The courtroom erupted. Maya couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Free, she whispered. Free, Marcus confirmed. Congratulations. The reporters swarmed. Her lawyer was shouting. But Maya only saw one person. Kai stood in the back, tears streaming down his face, smiling like the sun had finally come out. She pushed through the crowd, ran to him. They collided in the hallway outside the courtroom, holding each other like drowning people finding shore. You hired him, Maya said into his chest. Of course I did. Did you really think I'd let you go to prison? I told you not to wait for me. And I ignored you. Because I'm kind of stubborn like that. She pulled back, looking at him. He'd changed too. Lighter. Happier. Free. I don't deserve this, she said. Neither did I. But you gave it to me anyway. He cupped her face. You sacrificed everything to take down Aaron. You could have walked away. Kept the money. Started over. But you risked prison to give me back my life. You would have done the same. Maybe. But that doesn't make it less extraordinary. They stood there in the courthouse hallway, 6 months of pain and fear and love between them. What now? Maya asked. Now we figure it out. Together. No games. No billion-dollar companies. No drama. Just us. I'm still broke. Still have a criminal record. Still a mess. Good. I like mess. It's honest. She laughed through tears. You're ridiculous. And you're beautiful. Even in a borrowed suit. Kai. Yeah. I love you. I should have said it before, but I was scared. He kissed her then, soft and deep and full of promise. When they pulled apart, he pressed his forehead to hers. I love you too. Have since that first night in the laundromat. When you looked at me like I was just some guy locked out of a gym. You were just some guy. And you were just some girl folding laundry. We're kind of a disaster, aren't we? The best kind. They walked out of the courthouse into autumn sunlight. Reporters shouted questions. Cameras flashed. But Maya didn't care. She had Kai's hand in hers, freedom in front of her, and for the first time in her life, hope that wasn't a lie. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mom. Saw the news. I'm so proud of you, baby. Come visit me when you can. I'm 90 days sober. This time's different. Maya showed Kai. He smiled. Want to go see her? Yeah. But first, I need real clothes. And food. And maybe a very long nap. I have an apartment now. Nothing fancy. Just a 1-bedroom in a normal building with normal people. Sounds perfect. They got in his car. Not the expensive one. A used Honda he'd bought for $3,000. It had a dent in the fender and smelled like old coffee. This is the most beautiful car I've ever seen, Maya said. Liar. Okay, it's kind of ugly. But it's yours. That makes it beautiful. They drove through the city, past the laundromat where they'd met, past the penthouse where it had all fallen apart, past the office building where Aaron was probably sitting in a cell, finally facing justice. Do you ever regret it? Maya asked. Walking away from all that money? Not even once. Best decision I ever made. What about second best? Showing up to a laundromat at 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Third best? Falling in love with a girl who taught me that being rich doesn't mean shit if you're not living a real life. Maya leaned her head on his shoulder. We're going to be okay, aren't we? Yeah. We really are. And for the first time in both their lives, they believed it. 6 months later, Maya opened her design studio in a small space downtown. Nothing fancy. Just her, some second-hand furniture, and dreams she'd thought were dead. Kai worked at his foundation, helping people escape the kind of debt that had once defined Maya's life. They lived in that 1-bedroom apartment. Fought about dishes. Laughed over cheap takeout. Built something real from the ashes of everything they'd lost. Aaron Zhang was sentenced to 15 years. The appeals were denied. Justice, slow and imperfect, but justice nonetheless. And on a random Tuesday in spring, Kai showed up at Maya's studio with coffee and a familiar smile. "Hey," he said. "Hey yourself. Got a minute? For you?" "Always." He pulled out a small box. Her heart stopped. "I'm not good at speeches. And this probably isn't the right time or place. But I've learned that life doesn't wait for perfect moments. You make them." He opened the box. A simple silver band. "Marry me. Not because it's romantic or expected. Marry me because you're the only person who's ever made me feel like myself. Because you're brave and fierce and real. Because I want to build a life with you that's messy and honest and ours." Maya's hands shook. "Kai. You can say no. I'll understand. But I had to ask. Had to tell you that you're it for me. Laundromat girl. Criminal mastermind. Love of my life." She kissed him. Hard and desperate and full of yes. "Is that a yes?" he asked when they broke apart. "That's a hell yes, you ridiculous billionaire. Former billionaire. Now I'm just a guy with a used Honda and a girl who's way out of his league." "Damn right I am." They laughed. They cried. They held each other in that tiny studio, surrounded by fabric samples and design sketches, building a future from the ruins of their past. And somewhere in the city, in a laundromat that never closed, machines kept spinning, cleaning away the old, making space for something new. The universe, in its strange and chaotic way, had brought two broken people together. And somehow, against all odds, they'd made each other whole. Not perfect. Not without scars. But real. And that was enough. The end.